our sound, see how the quality is coming through, see if themselves tails is pinging the way they need to ping. And also as you're coming on the live, please be sure to click that thumbs up button because as you know, we're trying to break through the algorithm. We're trying to change the frequency, create a space for them whole ones, them purple ones, that purple nation, lay them, lay nation, period. Let's rise up. Let's get it together. Happy Sunday. Yes, Sunday. Come on, baby. A day to enjoy the sun. Let the sun shine. Let the sun shine in. The sun shining. Let the sun shine. Let the sun shine in. The sun shining. Let the sun shine. Let the sun shining. The sun shining. Let the sun shine. Let the sun shine. The sun shining. The sun shine. Let the sun shine. Let the sun shine in. The sun shining. Yes, honey, as you're coming into the live, make sure that you hit that thumbs up button. Make sure that you're subscribing to the channel so that you can get more spirituality, more talks about things that, cause us to think deeper, cause us to think outside of that box that they're constantly trying to stuff us in on a day-to-day basis. We're whole and we're connected. We're multifaceted beings. You know what I'm saying? Yes, wholeness. Come on, layers. Come on, complex creation. Come on, complex entity. Yes. So, yeah, I recently have been dealing with grief, dealing with loss. You know, October the 4th was my, would have been the anniversary, the 2 year anniversary of my time with my partner, and it would have been our 2 year anniversary. So he passed last year of an overdose, and this would have been our 2 year anniversary. So on October the 4th. October the 2nd was my grandmother's birthday. And it was a difficult time, it's been a difficult time, but I think I did well this year. In other years, I've allowed that depression to take me to like chaotic places, the need to use substances, to try to, use other people to just kind of like fill that void, fill that emptiness. But I'm happy to say that almost 50 years old, because I'm getting ready to be um, 48 next year. I'm finally in this place of where I could just kind of like sit in that, sit in that and and not run from it, like not feel like I need to run from that pain, not feel like I need to allow that pain to cause me to just like run from myself, to not be able to look myself in the mirror, not to, to not be able to deal with my chaos, to not be able to deal with my own shadows, because I realize that death is a doorway. It's not necessarily the end. It changes the relationship that you had with that person that you love. You can no longer physically, embrace them in the way that you could embrace them, but that doesn't mean that y'all still don't have a connection. It doesn't mean that y'all still don't have a relation. It doesn't mean that that person is not a part of you. I still see, them in my dreams. I still see them, you know, when I meditate, and they're in these moments in my life where I just know that I wouldn't be as strong as I am if I hadn't known them and I didn't know that they were with me. They were in my heart, they were in my mind. I think sometimes people have to physically leave us for us to gain that spiritual strength. Now that's powerful. I'm gonna say that again. Sometimes people have to physically leave us in order for us to gain that spiritual strength. And um, the message really, really becomes clear during this time. I made it into New York last night, and we were gathering to honor, one of our sisters who is on life support. And technically, she's brain dead right now. And we was just celebrating her life last night. And it got us to talking about surgery. Because a lot of us don't understand that beings who go through the operations to be reborn, to experience rebirth, as trans people, whether you're transitioning from being born, with female parts, female sexual parts, to having more masculine and male centered parts, or whether you're transitioning from being born with male parts to, having more female parts, whatever you are embracing, that journey, it comes at a cost, and we risk our lives to be reborn, to come back into this reality as a version of ourselves that is more like the version of ourselves that we see on the celestial plane, that we see on the ethereal plane, that we see in the heavens. And so, sometimes when we're calling that version of ourselves, from the ether into this dimension, we find out it's not meant for us to come back here. It's not meant for us to come back to this plane. And when I had my revision, because I wanted my vaginal canal to be deeper, when I went through my revision, I made peace with that. I made peace with the idea that I might not wake up. They might put me under and I might not come back. You know what I'm saying? We know what happened to Kanye's mother. We know that sometimes you go in for a surgery and you don't wake up. If I'm not mistaken, didn't that happen with Joan Rivers? So like we know like people go in for surgery and sometimes they just don't wake up. They just don't come back. And that's a reality for a lot of trans people, is that we go in for these surgeries and sometimes we don't wake up. Sometimes, and it's not the exact same thing, but it is a form of birthing. So, a lot of beings who identify with the construct of womanhood and are born with wombs, they die while giving birth. Sometimes we die during the process of rebirth, a man, a woman. So it's a birthing process. It's bringing a different aspect of yourself here. It's bringing a different version of yourself here. And, sometimes we don't survive that process. And to see the love that was shown for her last night, to see girls of all signs, like it was water signs, it was fire signs, it was earth signs, it was air signs, and we were all gathered together to honor and celebrate her life. And we had cocktails and we smoked and we talked and we ate and we fellowship, and it was beautiful. It was all these beautiful trans beings, trans women, feminine beings, all of us was just gathered in this place and we were celebrating her life. And that speaks volumes about who she was. And I definitely felt that her presence was there. I definitely felt like she was in the space. I only got a chance to physically meet her, I want to say 3 times. Um, and maybe 4. I met her once in Atlanta. I met her once on 125th, and I know that I met her at a rally. I saw her at the rally last year. And every time that I met her, I have to say this about Janae. She was not a shady girl. That was not my impression of her. That was not the Janae that I met. The Janae that I met, was very down to earth. She wasn't no girl that'll see you and walk past you and act like she don't know you. She was a girl that would, acknowledge you, give you a hug. She would always compliment you. She would share with you what was going on in her life. And I would share with her what was going on in my life. Like we just, we never was like the type of sisters that we chatted on the phone and we chopped it up on the phone and stuff. But when we saw each other, it was always real. It was always genuine. It was always, just genuinely checking in on each other. So I was happy to, be in a space and to see, that happen. And I want to give a shout out to Lynn, the mother of the march, the mother of the March of Trans Visibility, for hosting an event and for creating a space for, girls like us, for beings like us to gather together and, be safe and to celebrate each other. That's some work, like holding space for people to heal, holding space for people to, work through their emotions, to work through their feelings. Like, that is a art and community that's dying, and I'm so glad that, she's reviving it and helping it to keep, because since we've got accepted up on the plantation, you know what I'm saying? And the girls are starting to get these opportunities to be tokenized by the industry and to be tokenized by the machine. We don't value just getting together and just coming together as community. And so that took me back to like the beginning of New Legacy. That took me back to, when I was having the gatherings in my living room in New Orleans and we were just coming together and collectively healing and loving on each other and creating that space. We don't give enough shine to that. So I definitely want to celebrate Lynn for doing that work. A lot of us don't see that as important work, but if you don't take care of your foundation, and the foundation is spending time with each other and loving on each other, and that's a form of self-care. That's a form of collectively healing, collectively caring for each other, collective self-care. We're moving into a time in life where a lot of us, we definitely need a lot of private time. We definitely need a lot of time for ourselves. And that time that we take for ourselves, that's good. I'm never gonna, discredit you for taking time for yourself, but it's important to be able to engage with other human beings. It's important to be able to socialize and connect with other human beings. It's important to be able to express emotions and to be able to actually hear what is being said to you, to be able to listen to one another. You know what I'm saying? I know y'all see me as this person because most of the time y'all see me, I'm talking, but I'm actually a very good listener. I'm actually good at hearing people. Sometimes I don't feel like people always be listening to me, but that's why I'm thankful for this, YouTube space where I could get on my platform and I could, really, really share, what's going on with me. I know over the holidays, we're going to be experiencing some sad energy. And a lot of times we think, that sadness has something to do with us. But really, I think that's the ancestors who never were for this. It's the ancestors who were never in support of, the way we celebrate, Thanksgiving, the way that we celebrate Christmas, the commercialism, the extreme capitalism of it. Like it's not just an inward thing that we're feeling. We're not just sad because grandma died. We're not just sad because grandpa died. We're not just sad because we lost our brother or our cousin or our best friend. It's not just that. It's like they said in the movie New Jack City. This is bigger than Nino Brown. That sadness that we feel, it is the unrest of our ancestors who never wanted to participate in this, who never wanted to be a part of any of this. That sadness that we feel during this electoral season, during Thanksgiving, during all of these holidays that are coming up. It is we're sliding into this place of being more aware, being more in touch with our feelings, and a lot of us we're trying to numb it. That's why they legalize weed, honey, because they know you know they want us they trying to numb us because they don't want us to feel all of those feelings and begin to tap into everything that's going on around us. But I'm letting you know today, and I want to say this, and I want to say this from the pit of my stomach. If you can sit with that pain, if you could sit with that grief, if you could sit with those feelings, and you could sit with those emotions, and you could just breathe through it, just learn how to just breathe through it. That's what I've been learning, like to get into a quiet place and to just breathe through it. Just breathe through it. Allow yourself to breathe through it. Take some deep breaths. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. One more time. Inhale, exhale. And just remember to do that. We got a fast board too. The things that feel hard for you. I reached out to Lee Batty yesterday, and I did not know she was as young as she is. And she didn't want to tell me how old she was at first, but she's 26 years old and she's a Virgo. I hope I'm not, I hope that wasn't information that I wasn't supposed to tell. But I told her she have an old soul, and now just knowing how, knowing, I think she have a very good head on her shoulders for her to be her age, and I really do. I'm saying this publicly because this is for me to be held accountable. I do want to reach out to her more. I do want to check in on her more. I had no idea that she was, as young as she is, and I think that's all the more reason for grace. We have to do better at these divisions as post-ops, as pre-ops, as elders, as youth. We have to do a we have to do something different in this season of our lives. We have to do something different, you know, in creating spaces that bring all type of femininity together, whether it's trans femininity, or whether it is beings who are born with wombs, who identify with womanhood, whether it's like we just have to do better across the spectrum, and we have to really really begin to do this work of healing collectively as deeply melanated people, because we could continue to create boogeymans, we could continue to create monsters, we could continue to demonize other people, but that is simply delusion. That is creating a problem when the problem, like Anita Baker said, it's been you all the time. It's been you all the time, boo. It was you all the time. Still peddling trap rap, but you ain't there no more. It's how he get that money. Yeah, he bought that dough. Feed your fans lies because you don't want them to grow. Long as they buy your product, you don't care if they poll. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Claim you love God, but it's the money you trust. It's the blind leading the blind. Everybody's lost. Somebody try to wake you, you nail them to a cross. Looking to be paid off, want the status of a boss. If it speak half truths, then the religion is false. Government got you scared to cough. Fake news, the media bought. How they stole your culture when you told them how much it costs. Your ancestors, they're sleeping, but mine, they turn and toss, watching everything with the eyes of a hawk. We all slip up and don't walk the walk. Stay true to yourself and acknowledge your faults. Stop looking for a bad guy when times get rough. sometimes looking in the mirror can be pretty tough. You beat yourself down, you don't think you enough, get rich or die trying, Hollywood or bust. Can't be mad at yourself when all the while you were selling fake us. Hmm. Yeah, if you was never being real about who you are, how can you get mad with somebody who's treating you as if you have no value, or if they're dismissing you and disrespecting you when you never really was being real with yourself? You can't attract the real when you being fake. And a lot of people say, "Oh, I'm being professional. Oh, never let your left hand know what your right hand doing." But if you are not being honest with people, if you're not being sincere with people, if you're not being authentic with people, if you're not presenting people with your true self, if you're not being genuine about who you are, then don't get mad when the world sends you a whole bunch of genuine people. People are always saying, "Oh, you so fake, you so fake, you so fake." Well, baby, maybe you have to reflect on your fakeness. That's why when people give me fake energy and people do fake stuff around me simply because they assume that's how it go. Because most people will genuinely be fake with you. Like a lot of people are just legitimately fake. That's what the colonizer has indoctrinated us to be. Has a lot of us, we think it's strategy, but the strategy ain't really getting you nowhere. Being fake all the time, because don't nobody know what they really dealing with. So how can a person know if they really have capacity to be solid in your life and to be loyal and to truly be down for you if they don't even know what they're being down for? How can I show up for you and really, really show up for you and really, really be committed to you and really be ready to ride for you if I really don't know what I'm riding for? Because you've been wearing a mask, you've been presenting a half truth, you've been doing some tricknology. A man, a woman, you haven't been being honest about who you are. You haven't been being honest about what your intentions are. And what I find so interesting in the chat is a lot of people come in the comment section and they'll be like, "Are you a man or a woman?" Like, people literally come up under this post, they come up under videos and they be like, "Are you a man or a woman? Are you trans?" I really, like, at one time I would answer the questions, but I know that I have like 500 or 600 videos on this channel, and there's literally, like, if you go and look at the channel page, there's tons of videos where I talk about who I am. And so you're asking those questions as a way to distract me from what I'm talking about. You're asking those, or either you're just not intelligent at all. And so that's a whole nother reason not to respond to you, because you're showing how unintelligent you are. You're showing how caught up and obsessed you are with the third dimension and the physical. And bless your heart, that's all I really got for you on that. But if you were really trying to understand, if you were really trying to grow, if you were really trying to learn something, then you would go and do research so that when you come on the live, you won't ask questions that make you look stupid, that make you look like an idiot. Like, it's real simple. Like, there's not a deception going on. You're not being lied to. It's not confusing. I say all the time, I'm my mother and my father, my grandmother and my grandfather, and I had to change my body parts to feel comfortable in my body. I don't know if people want to control my narrative and you want me to speak in a way that makes you feel comfortable. You want me to demean myself and to disrespect myself and to use language that does not affirm me or doesn't speak to me, so that I can appease your ignorance, so that I could appease where you are in consciousness, so that I can help you to remain in that box in the corner of your mind, in that quicksand that you're stuck in. But like they said in the Bible, when Jesus rose, the stone has rolled away, and I'm no longer there with you. So you're not going to hold me hostage and force me to stay in that place of lack and limitation where you live. That's your address. That's your house. That's the street you live on. I don't live on that street. We're rising. I'm a purple one. I'm a whole one. You can call me what you want. I'll be a man if that's what you want to call me. I'll be a transgender. I'll be a tranny. I'll be all of those things. But understand that in real life, in actual life, you're not on my frequency. and me and you will never, the ascension begins, me and you will not be in proximity. You're going to be right on the vibration you're on right now, and it's a lower one, because you don't have the capacity, you don't have the bandwidth, and you don't have the emotional intelligence to sit in a place of authority or a high place. You know, a lot of another thing that's wrong with society, in my opinion, is that we have made influencers into leaders. The social media age has become the age of the deception. And the deception is social media influencers are being confused for leaders. But let me tell you the difference between a leader and an influencer. A leader is willing to sacrifice for its people, for the people that they serve. They're willing to sit at the back of the bus. They're willing to eat last. They're gonna make sure everybody else is good. An influencer, they're always trying to sell you something. They always trying to get something out of you. And y'all have been so, a lot of you unfortunately have been so brainwashed by a capitalized society that you feel like that's the way it's supposed to be. You suppose if a person is not on live hustling you with a whole bunch of grand props and a whole bunch of production and things that they done bought with your money, they living good off your money while you getting up and hustling and struggling every day, and you're sending them your money because secretly you want to be an oppressor. You want to be next in line to be the same kind of oppressor that they are. And so you feed that, you feed oppression, you feed your oppressor. You put these influencers on pedestals like they're leaders, but a leader will always sacrifice. A leader is willing to sacrifice for its community. It's not, a leader don't always, ain't always trying to find a way to capitalize off of you, ain't always trying to find a way to hustle you, ain't always trying to find a way to sell you something. Leaders legit want to pour into the next generation, and they want to see the next generation thrive. They want to see the next generation flourish. They want to see the next generation have experiences that they were not able to have, but also be grateful for the ones that were able to sacrifice that came before you. So it's a huge difference between leaders and influencers. And a lot of us have made influencers into leaders. But be ye not deceived. A true leader will not always be trying to hustle you. It's not gonna always be trying to get something out of you. They will ask for help when they need it. They will ask for support. And a lot of y'all have, and this your own stuff. This your own spiritual discernment. This y'all. This ain't on. You know, you have to take responsibility and accountability for your part in it. A lot of y'all, you forgot everything that glitter ain't gold. Everything that sparkle with a brand new wig on and a pair of new shoes and a pump, living in a big old house and driving a nice car. It ain't all for the right. You don't know the cost of the oil in that alabaster box, and sometimes it costs them their soul. Sometimes they be done rented out their soul for that. And so you really honestly is putting something on a pedestal that's a whole shell. That's a whole shell. You can't be poured into by them, because they need you to pour into them, pour into their banking account, pour into their lifestyle, pour into their image, pour into their self-worth, because you are legitimately validating them through up in your pockets, through up in your coins. And so, you know, if that's what people want, then have at it. Have that. Have that for yourself. I am not here to yuck your yum or put down your experiences, but we're gonna call a thing a thing. We're definitely gonna play the whole tape. That's definitely what we're gonna do. We're gonna play the whole tape, honey. It's two parts to this here. It's two parts of this here. We hurt and then we heal. We destroy and we rebuild. You could pause a foe with fear, but of one thing, let's be clear. Baby, you could pause a foe with fear. We destroy and we rebuild. You could pause a foe with fear. Yes, honey. It all started with a bang. I'm going out with a bang. And if you're lucky, you get banged. Amen, a woman. My God, God is King Queen. Hey, yeah, Kenny is their mother and father. Laylim Layler has said them many things, and I'm loving the spoken word. Well, a lot of it is like words from songs that I have did verses on. So I just like because I memorize it because it's my music. That's what I literally use to heal myself. Art is so important. Art is healing. Art is what keeps us from snapping. Art is what keeps us from being homicidal, from being suicidal. And the type of art we make speaks to the type of person we want to be and the type of character that we want to have. And getting back to Leah Batty, like I said, I was encouraging her to fast, and I was telling, intermittent fasting is something that you definitely can do if you struggle with fasting. Like, intermittent fasting means you wake up and you be like, okay, I'm not gonna eat till 12 noon. I'm gonna have water. I'm gonna have fruit, and then like if you're gonna have your little heavy snack, you have your little heavy, whatever you're gonna eat that's gonna be heavy. You eat it around that time, and then as you're tapering off towards noon, you lighten it. What I want to let people know that the power of fasting, and I honestly, taking this HIV medication, which I call the nothingness, it really messes with your DNA to the point of where the discipline that I used to have years ago, it be hard. Like it really be hard. And the crazy part is it wasn't hard this time. Like I literally could have not eaten anything. I could have not eaten anything. I saw it. I saw that I had the willpower to not eat anything. I wasn't tired like I thought I was going to be. I had enough energy one of the days to get up and walk 2 miles. I did like a 2.5 mile walk. So, like, that really showed me, what I made of. I was like, okay, like Vito say, girl, you got it. You got it. Oh, yeah. You got it. You got it. Oh yeah. That's what it was giving. Like, girl, you my little baby. I'm gonna make it known. Like it was really giving the vibes. Like I was really happy with myself. I really was like shocked. Like I was like, okay, girl, like yes, yes, whole wine. Yes, you're doing it. You're doing it. Like and on the third day at midnight, I caught myself eating some catfish and some calamari after on October the 5th after midnight child. I threw all that stuff up. My body said, but baby, I drank like a fish last night, and I ate about 2 or 3 pieces of chicken. I ate two or three drummets at the party, and so I feel like I could handle a little bit more grease now without throwing up. But my body is like, no, you don't need all of that. Like you don't like stay on this frequency, like stay on this vibe. Like it really was helping me with my peace. Like it was helping me with my clarity. And more of us, we need to get on that fasting because there's so many like they're throwing so much content at us. Food is becoming more enticing, and so the more things that we put in our body, and this is not just pertaining to drugs and alcohol, like this is everything that we put into our temple. We have to understand that it's connected to a frequency, it's connected to a vibration, it's connected to an intention, it's connected to everything that we put into our body. It's connected to an intention, it's connected to a vibration, it's connected to a frequency, it's connected to something. And so if we want to really experience heaven, if we really want to experience collective healing, if we really want to see that utopia and we want to see that space, we have to clear ourselves, we have to clear our temples, we have to clear our bodies so that we can make that connection. A lot of people are that's not what you signed up for. Don't, it's not for you. We don't all die together, we ain't all born together. You ain't born at the same time, you don't die at the same time. You get there on your own time. I'm simply speaking to the people who have been getting that little tap on the shoulder and have been feeling the spirit say, you know what, it's time for me to start fasting. You know what, it's time for me to get more clarity. You know what, it's time for me to get more focus. I'm speaking to you. I'm not, maybe this message is for you to tell somebody else, but this is not a demand. This is not putting down people who don't want to fast. This is not putting down people who don't want to eat healthier. This is not putting down people who want to be turned up all the time. Like, this is not a put down. This is simply a message that I feel compelled and responsible to share with people. If you want to have more peace, if you want to have more clarity, if you want to feel better about yourself, it's time to stop feeding the flesh all the time. It's time to deprive the flesh so that the spirit can get strong. The spirit is a muscle. The soul is a muscle. That inner being is a muscle. And the way that you expand that muscle, the way that you strengthen that muscle is by not continuing to feed the carnal self. You have to resist the carnalness. It's not about being righteous. It's not about being holier than thou. It's about clarity. It's about clarity because right now we're experiencing a lot of confusion. The world is experiencing a lot of confusion, and a lot of dogma and rhetoric and propaganda is constantly being rubbed in our faces in order to get us to be distracted. And so you can have that clarity that you need so that you'll know what to entertain and what not to entertain, what not to give life to and what not to feed. We have to begin to discipline ourselves. We have to begin to discipline our flesh so that our so that that inner being, that soul being that lives in us, it can have the opportunity to regenerate itself, and we can begin to connect with each other, and we could start astral projecting again and start tapping into our superpowers, baby. Start tapping into that anointing, honey. Start tapping into that spirit that they said is gonna fall down on us, and this is the thing, like, we look at these tragedies that are taking place and these potential threats and these scares and these scams and this propaganda, this fear mongering and these scare tactics. But one thing that I agree with about the Bible, but I'm gonna paraphrase it, I'm gonna change the words around. Make sure y'all clicking that thumbs up button because there's a lot of y'all on here and y'all are not clicking that thumbs up button. There's 19 people on here and the thumbs up button ain't going up. But one of the verses that I love is in our weakness, the divine is made perfect. Now, in the Bible, they say in our weakness, he is made perfect. And so, what that says to me is that in our hardest times, in our most complicated times, in our most challenging times, in the times in which we are enduring, where we're afraid and struggle, that is the opportunity for the divine to show up and show out. So I'm not afraid of the storm. I'm from Louisiana, baby. We deal with storms all the time. I was a part of the worst storm that has hit this nation in our lifetime. Hurricane Katrina is known worldwide, and it was one of the worst storm that America has faced in over 40 years. And so, I was just like, to have lived through that, like, I'm ready for a storm. A storm creates an opportunity for you to see the power of the creator, for you to see the power of the divine, for you to see the ancestors working in your life, for you to see that light, shine through, for you to see darkness and light do what they do, because they are collaborating. Don't ever think that one is doing something on its own, honey. They collaborate. They bounce off each other. They shop working some shit. Like, they workshopping some things, honey. It's a collaboration. And so you get to see how your chaos and your order collaborate to show you the face of the divine. When you allow yourself to get that mental clarity. And a lot of us, we want to be distracted. We want to get on live and be entertained and focus on, just, the mediocrity of social media. And I'm not gonna lie, child, I fall down some rabbit holes and be cackling and be looking at some foolish stuff, just laughing. I be like, how did this come on my algorithm? Like, but then I know how it come up on my algorithm because people be messaging me stuff in my inbox on messaging me stuff in my inbox on Instagram, and that's how it ciphers into my feed. So people will be inboxing you stuff, and once they inbox it to you, once you click on the video, you've invited that into your algorithm, and so now other stuff is gonna start popping up on your algorithm that probably would have never popped up on your algorithm. I am very careful about how I curate my algorithm though. And people can say, "Oh well, you're out of touch. You're not concerned about what's going on in the world." Let me tell you something. One thing we could be sure of every day: people gonna die, people gonna suffer, people gonna be hurt, and people make choices. People make choices. When I laid on that table to go and have that surgery for that revision, I knew what the potential outcome was. I knew it was a possibility that I might not wake up. When I chose to live in my truth and to embrace the foremothers that are in my DNA, and I chose to walk outside my door like that, I knew what came with it. We can't. We have to understand the reality that we live in, and with our choices. Yes, a lot of times our choices are a response to oppression. Our choices are a response to depression. That it's true, and people don't always make the greatest choices or the most excellent choices, when they're depressed or when they're oppressed, a man, a woman. But in order for you to see something different, in order for you to experience something different, in spite of the oppression, in spite of the depression, in spite of the racism, in spite of the homophobia, the transphobia, the stigmas from you living with HIV, or you used to do drugs, or you're a sex worker, or you've been to prison, despite the stigma of being fat shamed, or having someone say something to you that could be perceived as ageist, or ableist, or classist. Like, despite all of these things, we still cannot allow the world to control who we are. We cannot allow society to puppeteer our emotions. We have to find that peace in the middle of the storm. Even though you winds blow, I want you to know you call me no alarm, 'cause I'm safe in their arms. Even though your rain falls, I could still make this call. Let there be peace. Now I can say go. I could really, 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 really blow that. But if I did that, they'll hear me 2 blocks. And I ain't trying to wake these Hispanic people up like that. Like, you know, I, I'm trying to be respectful. But if I was in the country, that's why I have decided that I'm gonna move back to Louisiana. Um, I need to be on some country roads where I could be like, now I can say go. Now I can say I need to be on a country road, Eddie. I need to be on a country road, Eddie. I need to be on a country road, baby. Now I can say. Oh yeah, I need to be able to blow that girl. No, no, I can't be like, no, baby. You gonna get this noise. You gonna get this volume. You gonna get this. You gonna get it, baby. Baby, you gotta tell that storm, and baby, you can't command no storm whispering. Now, I ain't gonna lie though. Sometimes, like in our mind, if we are there in our mind, we can. And men and women, like sometimes you ain't even gotta speak. Like your like in the your inner being can be so strong that your posture, the way you hold yourself, the way you move, the way you dance, you can really just manipulate and just cause you know just tell the storm, yes, not today, baby, that's not what we doing at all, at all. The spirit can replenish the flesh alone. We'd be surprised. We just been programmed to always eat. LOL. Yes, the food is poisoned and already getting worse. Yeah, yeah. Amen. They won me. But we have our own choices and understand what comes with them and just navigate on, things we see through a more optimistic lens. Right. I definitely feel like we live in a society that does not want us to be responsible for our actions. Want us to be looking for somebody to blame for everything, and I'm just not with that. Like, I'm not getting on that boat. Like, I'm not fixing to sit around here and give people passes who are being intentionally toxic and oppressive and harmful and are not taking accountability for that. But I'm also not gonna sit up here and try to blame everybody else, bitch. Look in the mirror. Like most times when someone triggers something in you and brings something out of you, it's because that's something in you that's unsettling with you. That's an aspect of yourself that it's mirror time. You're looking in the mirror, you know. But anyway, I have been on the live for 47 minutes. We did a good quick little live today. I will continue to check in with y'all. I'm about to get ready to go and walk to the store because I want to get ready to cook something for Sunday dinner. I don't know exactly what it is gonna be. I'm wrestling between salmon and some turkey wings, some type of greens and cornbread. I'm feeling that, like something just to replenish me, something a little sturdy today because there was a lot of drinking last night. And I want to try to take the meds today because I ain't take the meds yesterday, girl. Take your meds, girl. Take your meds, girl. So I need a little something sturdy on the stomach to get me back in the med taking routine because I did take a break from the meds while I was fasting, honey. I was not popping them, girls. But yeah, girl, I'm about to get back on them meds, girl. And so, girl, I need a sturdy meal today, girl. As we shift gears, girl. As we shift gears, honey. I need a sturdier meal, girl. So I'm gonna have a sturdy meal today, girl. A sturdy old meal, girl. But make sure y'all click that thumbs up button. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. Make sure y'all continue to support. Yeah, we're gonna be in the Boogie Down Bronx for a good little minute. We're gonna bust down, make them change their mind about some things. Although we ain't busting down sexually, because a girl can't do nothing. Have a beautiful Sunday. Enjoy the day. I'm sure what you cook is going to be good. Yes, it is, honey. Sturdy meal, honey. A sturdy meal. Down with an down that I say cooking, spinning and turning in Gani, Iyanko, Kalukalo, which means I am a child of God. And if I am, you are. Bounded around those circle and square, we too speak life, so operations beware, sending healing to those in despair, El by Bosara, which means we come in peace, no harm to any, lay lim, lay low. I do want to release some footage from the event last night, and we have to try to get that together. And I also am planning to release a 90-minute clip at some point of some moments during my fasting ritual just to give people some ideas about how they might want to fast and things that are going on in their life. I do have a part of my spiritual practices and a part of my religion, which is Laylam Layler, is I like to burn currency. And I want to tell you the intention behind it because a lot of people would be like, "Well, girl, you live below the poverty line. Why are you burning money?" And I'm gonna say this to you. Thank you, God, Goddess. I don't miss any meals. I'm always, someone has always cared for me enough to make sure that I was okay. The ancestors really have gathered around me on the spiritual plane and the physical plane. But as a person who used to be, who used to use crack, and really literally got to the point to where at one time crack was controlling me. Like when I went through my depression and I found out my status, oh man, I was off to the races, girl, a few years in, girl, because I thought I was gonna die anyway. So I was like, I may as well go out with a bang, honey. So baby, I was chasing after that rock, honey. I was chasing after that crack pipe, honey. And every time you put money in my hands, bitch, I was off to the races, girl. You give me a little coin, girl, and I'm off to the races, girl. And so for a while, money was triggering to me. To have money in my hand was a trigger to see money. I remember one time I was walking down the street and I offered this homeless person some money, and baby, he turned it down. And that really resonated with me because money is a trigger for some people. We don't realize that money is a trigger for some people. And so when motherfuckers would give me money in that phase of my life, I don't like to call it an addiction because if I really feel like I was using because I was in pain. Like, and it increased when I got around other people who were in pain. But I had somewhat balance. Like I was a little bit functional with mine. And I feel like I do go through those seasons where I go into depression and I spiral, which it haven't been, in about 2 years. Thank you, God, goddess. But yeah. And so money at one time was a trigger for me. And so in order to not feel like I was a slave to money, in order to break the spell that money had over me, people put money in my hand, I automatically finna go and get high. I automatically finna go and spend it on getting high. Putting myself in messed up situations, being disrespected and used and abused and diminished and degraded for a dollar. Like all of the oppressive situations I've put myself in, all of the depressing situations I've put myself in, trying to get a dollar so that I could numb myself. And so I had to release myself from that bondage. And so how I release myself from that bondage is by watching money burn. It's therapeutic for me. It's healing for me. And I before I burn it, I look at the serial numbers. Look at the B want to play. Okay, go ahead, baby. Go ahead, baby. So Um, yeah, I'll recite the serial numbers. I'll say the serial numbers out loud, and then I'll burn it. And while I'm burning it, I say, we release you, ancestors. I forgive my founding fathers for creating this reality. I forgive the people who created money, the money who made money God. I forgive because I know some of them want forgiveness. I know not all of them are still happy with the system that they've created. All of them are not still happy with this matrix. Some of them, like it's not just my black ancestors or my indigenous ancestors or my African, my Negro ancestors that are tossing and turning in their sleep. There's Caucasian brothers and sisters, Latino brothers and sisters, Asiatic brothers and sisters, Hindu, Arab, Indian, like all kind of ancestors that are like, what the hell did we do? Like how the hell do? And they're not resting. And so when I burn that money, and I wish peace to them. I wish them, to be released from that burden, and I wish them to be able to will with me to manifest a different reality in a different space where we are not bound by that green back with them white faces on it. And so as I'm watching the money burn, I am setting my intentions, and everyone who has touched that money, everyone who has had that money in their hand, I'm calling their energy to me, and I'm calling their energy to that altar. And I'm saying, in the name of my mothers and fathers, and in the name of my grandmothers and my grandfathers, and in the name of all those who have come before us, and all of those who have been oppressed, all of those who are suffering, all of those who are struggling, all of those who are not being acknowledged. When I am burning that money, I am releasing that. I am releasing that. I am unbinding what's been bound. so that we could experience a different reality. And so, those of you who don't have the capacity to grasp the intent, as a person who was an addict and who was a slave to a dollar, who was controlled by a dollar, a man, a woman. I was controlled by a dollar, and I'm not ashamed to admit that. It helps me with my integrity when money hits my hand to not allow money to control me when I watch it burn. I practice it often. Every time I travel to go out of town, before I get on a plane, I burn money. Before I get on a train, I burn money. When I come and when I leave, I talk to my ancestors. That's why I say I may not have a lot of people on on this platform or in the world that support me and show up for me, but I know that my ancestors in the spirit world hear me because they've been so good to me. And let me tell you something. One time I did it. The most that I've ever burned was $100 bill. And one time I did it, and when I did it, I had I think I had like $40 to my name, and I went to the altar and I burnt the $40. And when before I made it back to my bed, somebody was hitting me up, and they had just like sent me $200 out of the blue. And so sometimes it's about faith. Don't do the ritual trying to get money, trying to double your. Don't do it for those intentions, because that was not my intention. My intentions was I just I just needed I was trying to break free of a demon that was on me. I was trying to break free of something. And when I burnt that money, I just felt lighter. I felt like I could breathe. I felt like something was standing on my chest. And when I watched that money burn, it was just like, and I knew I wasn't a slave to it anymore. I knew it wasn't controlling me. And the more that I exercised that practice, the more I feel like I could breathe and the lighter I feel. So, you know, yeah, and I think that, a lot of people who are struggling with addiction, if you can't put no money in their hand, you can't put no money in, it's a trigger. They see that money and they call. That's what it means. That's what money mean. Money mean let me go get it now. And I think that it could heal so many people just to be like in the space to say, this does not control me. I am the bank. I am the resource. I am the storehouse. I am the bailout. It is well with my soul. I am going to be okay. I am that I am, and it is well with my soul, and it will be okay. I am not going to miss a meal. I am not going to starve. I am not going to be suffering. And this is not stupid of me to show myself that I am gonna be okay with or without this paper, with or without this notary promise. I'm gonna be okay. And exercising that, allowing your psyche to see that, that's important. That's important. And so people can say, oh, it's stupid, it's crazy. Those are people who want to see things stay the way it is. And again, like I said earlier, the difference between an influencer and the difference between a leader is willing to sacrifice. And sometimes when the manifestations don't go right, and I burn some money, and I be like, girl, a couple of hours later, girl, I be like, well, damn, I burnt that money. I sure could have used them few dollars to do, so and so and so and so. But damn, being able to take your lick, being able to find your peace, being able to be okay with that. And the moment that you find your peace and the moment that you okay with it, another door will open and another opportunity will come. You just have to allow yourself, you just have to trust. People be penny pitching and trying to hold on to everything, and that's what keeps you in this hand to mouth existence. If you always got your fist balled up, how can somebody put something in it? You can hold on to what you got, but you can't accept anything else. You can't receive anything else. You can't receive anything else. Right. It's not gambling. It's a deep spiritual connection. Right. That's right there. I guess what it is. Okay, the whole part. Yeah. Yeah. We can't worship money. Money is a mere sacrifice. Sometimes good, sometimes bad. Okay, a sturdy meal. Ashe. That's, that's it right there. And guess what? It was, yeah, that whole part. Yeah. So I am getting ready to close out. I have definitely enjoyed this live, and sharing and talking with you. And this has been so good for my soul. You know, it's felt really good for my soul. It's felt really good for my peace. Like to get this off of me, to release this from me. Um, I needed this, and to do it in the sunlight. I kind of wish I wouldn't have worn no hat so that the sun could have been, um, so that the sun could have been, Psalms 23, my cup runneth over. Yeah, so I could have been, we're gonna say goodbye to, we're gonna say goodbye to Austin, y'all. Y'all wave goodbye to Austin Clemens, the lower vibrational troll demon that coming on here to try to, we know what sent you, so we're gonna say goodbye to you. For 24 hours, we bind you and cast you back into the pits of nothingness from which you came. Mine. Do you see all these teeth laughing? Do you see the strong mustache and all these teeth? These yellow teeth. Do you see the yellow crooked teeth and the mustache? You see the strong mustache and the yellow crooked teeth. You bring me joy. Love your content. Subscribe. Thank you. Like I said, with one door closed, another one open. All right. Well, y'all have a beautiful day. Y'all have a beautiful day. People. People be so focused on the package, trying to get something that's pretty and perfect to look at, and it be the most toxic thing. Superficial people, you gonna fuck around and miss your blessing looking for some perfect teeth. Looking for a Colgate smile, baby. You gonna get an old toxic, oppressive, foot on your neck ass monster. And then you gonna be mad at the world and even shadier to people who've never done anything to you. Y'all gonna learn about being so superficial. Y'all gonna learn about being so stuck on physical appearances. Y'all gonna learn after you done had enough of them people that you worship and put on pedestals. Don't be crying talking about how people mistreating you, and about classism and elitism and oppression when you are oppressing people. You bring your troll ass on my live talking about are you a man and your teeth and all this. You could tell the people who are overworked and underpaid and treated like shit in the world, they come on the internet and they troll. That's their only form of power. That's a way for them to feel power. They come on lives and they troll healthy, positive conversation because this is the only place where you can feel anything, where you can feel any power. Outside, you are nothing. You are nobody. Nobody sees you. Nobody cares. You don't exist. You are a ghost. You are a ghost. You are an entity that no one acknowledges and no one sees. And so you come on the internet to feel like someone, to feel important, and you troll people from ghost accounts with no pictures, no content. You've contributed nothing to society because you are nothing. You're not everything and nothing. You're just nothing. And so you come on here empty, and you come on here looking to be filled by being petty. But you're gonna fuck around and you're gonna miss a wonderful message. You're gonna miss a wonderful story. You're gonna miss a wonderful blessing because you was worried about somebody's teeth. You was worried about what was between somebody's legs. You was worried about their hair. You was worried about their eyes. You was worried about their nose. You was worried about their lips being ashy. You gonna fuck around and miss your wisdom. You're gonna miss a learning opportunity. You're gonna miss a chance to evolve. You're gonna miss a chance to grow because you was trying to condemn the messenger. And it speaks to how oppressed you are when you feel the need to come on people's platform and try to oppress them by by making the whole conversation superficial, making the whole conversation about aesthetics. Bless your heart. This is why you don't have a picture up. This is why when I go to your channel, I can't see your content because you probably somewhere looking like the Precious. You probably somewhere looking like Gollum. And that's probably what you get when you walk outside your door with these crooked teeth, with this butter, with these cavities. I am a light and I don't have any problem attracting sexual partners or people who want to be with me. I turned down a couple of people yesterday with this grill. You know why? Because I have an undeniable light. And when people are in my presence, when people are next to me, when people are around me, they don't even see that. They don't even see that. Imagine having that type of energy and having that type of aura where people don't even see that. And you will never physically be in my presence because your frequency is too far beneath mine. So you use this opportunity to come for me. But if I was that uncomfortable with my grill, I would have been got it fixed. I, for one, am comfortable with having a flaw because it keeps me humble. Now, I'm not going to say I'm always going to have this grill. Bitch, when I'm getting close to 50, I might want to give myself a new grill. I might want to get a different grill, for close to 50. I might want to do a new grill. I've been dealing with this grill for some decades now. I might want a new grill. I might say that. I might go and get me a new grill later on down the road. Might get me a new grill next year. But y'all ain't gonna make me feel shame about this one, bitch. Bitch, you're not gonna make me feel shame about it, bitch, because I know people dealing with real problems, bitch. I said this before in one video and I'm gonna say it again, bitch. I'm chewing fine, bitch. I'm chewing fine, bitch. Yes, it's been rude trolls up in here. I was trying the hardest to ignore them because I will cuss them out. But the video message was light and positive. I did want to disrupt the peace. Amen, A you got nice teeth. They just aren't straight. Nothing wrong as long as you're healthy. Thank you so much. Looking like depression. Exactly. Exactly. And what gets me about people like them is I go to their page and I be wanting to see and that's the most disrespectful kind of troll. Is at least if you're gonna troll me, let me see that you have a picture or that you have content that I could go and that I could give critique. To me it just seems like a coward. It seems like you just I just don't have no respect for people. And I think if I was reshaping the world, if I was reshaping the cosmos, I just would leave that out. Like those type of beings wouldn't exist. Beings who could come on your platform and say things about you and critique you, and you can't go and get a look see. Let me have a look see. Let me see what you look like. Yeah, let's have a look. See, let's see what you look like. When I was young, I used to do this. You know how the Catholic people they make the crucifix. I don't do that. Like when I hit when an ambulance passes, or when I make it somewhere safe, or when I see something and I don't understand it, and I be trying to understand it. I form the infinity symbol over me. Like I do that. Like I always do that. Like I don't do the crucifix. I form the infinity symbol over me. That's a purple one thing. That's a lay lim lay lur thing, baby. If you ever see me doing that, I'm not casting a spell. I'm just reminding myself that we are a part of an infinite cycle, and energy doesn't die. It's just transferred and it's transformed. And so when I'm doing that, I'm just reminding myself of that. Yeah, I'm just reminding myself of that. Nah. Yeah, but I'm getting ready to go ahead and get off this live because I feel like I from the topic, like I was talking about depression during the holidays and stuff like that. I was kind of shocked that I had so many trolls. Um, um, I had so many trolls to come on here. I was kind of like shocked at the topic that I had so many trolls, and you would know if I was smoking them because you smoke them yourself as well, right? That's how you know a crackhead when you see one, because you yourself have smoked it. You probably wrestling with that right now, and I just want to know we gonna say a prayer for you. Later on today, I'm gonna go to my altar and I'm gonna talk to the ancestors to help you deal with that. But anyway, as I was saying earlier, I love y'all. Y'all have a beautiful day, and let me tell you something. I can't be smoking that many rocks because these motherfucking teeth would have been fell out. Because let me tell you what cocaine does. Cocaine takes the enamel off of your teeth and makes your teeth really, really fragile. That's why a lot of people who really, really just abuse crack, they don't have no teeth in their mouth. So no matter how many rocks I smoke, I can't smoke that many because I still got all these bitches, the extra ones too, bitch. So I can't have smoked that many rocks, bitch. Just know that. It ain't that many rocks in smoked, bitch. Bitch, I still got the same teeth, bitch. But anyway, I love y'all. Y'all have a blessed day. Y'all have a blessed day and take care of yourself. I'm about to go to the store and find out what it is that I'm about to go and eat, what I'm about to cook. I know my moderators, I don't know what my moderators had going on today, but all five of y'all, where y'all was at. But it wasn't really that stressful. Like, like the trolls, like, if you notice, I've got so much better at dealing with trolls. Because I ain't gonna lie, I used to get upset and be screaming at the camp. They used to distract me. They used to take me off topic. They used to change my energy. And today they did. Did y'all see my continence the entire time? Even when I was getting them together. Did you see my continence? Are you proud of me? Did I do good? If I did good, then give me 5 purple hearts in the chat before we close out. I'm gonna need some purple hearts. I need 5 purple hearts in the chat. Earth, air, fire, water. And the fifth one is for the heart, the soul, and the spirit. Somebody give me 5 purple hearts in the chat so we can go and close it out. I need one person to find them 5 purple hearts and put them in the chat for me. Is it just trolls left? Have everybody else left? Is it just? Oh, there you go. Thank you, Petey. All right, y'all. Y'all have a blessed day, a great day, a prosperous day. Happy Sunday. Wait, hold on. Happy Sunday.